Okay, so today is an assignment all about circles. So far, we've learned how to draw circles in two different ways. I will go to my zero layer here. So in the past, if we want to draw a circle, we would just type in C for circle. And then looking at our command line here, it would ask us just to specify our center point in our circle. So we punch in our center point, and then now it's asking us for a radius. So say we have a radius of 10. So I'd put, actually here, let's do a radius of 5. And that's too big. So circle, center point with a radius of 1. So that's one way of drawing a circle. In a typical CAD fashion, there's 1,000 ways to do everything. So there's actually 6 different ways of drawing a circle. And we can briefly see all of those by clicking on our down arrow here on our circle toolbar. And you'll see here we have our 6 different ways. So the first one, which is our default, we specify a center point, and then we click our radius. The next one underneath it is center and diameter. So very similar, except this time we hit a center point, and then instead of punching in our center point, we punch in our diameter. So if I do a 1 this time, it's going to give me a circle half the size of this one, because our diameter is twice the radius. So it just has these 2 options for people that can't multiply by 2 in their heads, I suppose. Second one, or our third option, is what we call a 2-point circle. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to start by just drawing 2 random parallel lines here. And say I want to have a circle that fits perfectly right between these 2 lines. If I want to do that now, I would have to first identify our center point here. Would you mind getting that, Daniel? So our 2-point, it allows us to pick 2 points, and we'll create a circle that touches those 2 points. So here, see our 2-point circle here? So I'm going to pick my first point down here, and you can see now it's starting to create my circle here, and it's basically choosing my diameter. And I'm just going to go straight up and attach right to our top line there, and now we have a circle that touches these 2 points perfectly. So you can see that's going to save you a ton of time, because trying to figure that out by hand would be near impossible. All right, now let's say we have 3 points. So I'm going to use my point tool. I'm going to put a point here. I'm going to put a point here. And I'll put a point here. Right here. It'll be a little off. Okay, now let's say I want to draw a circle, and I want the circle to go through these 3 points. Again, that would be near impossible to calculate by hand, because we wouldn't know where our center point is. It would be challenging even to figure out what our size of our circle would be, our radius. So we're going to go back up to our circle tool here, and this time we're going to select 3-point. So I'll click on my first point, and I'll click on my second point, and you'll notice now it's starting to draw a circle here, and I'll click on my third point, and it has now created a circle that intersects those 3 points. Seems kind of simple, but when you think about it, trying to recreate that by hand would be almost impossible. So that's a 3-point circle. Before that, we did a 2-point circle. So you can see here we just identified 2 points. This one, we did 3 points. Okay, for our 5th kind of circle, we're going to draw just 2 random lines here that intersect. And say I want to draw a circle that has a we'll say a 1-inch radius, and I want that circle to touch both these two lines. So again, that kind of sounds easy, but when you think about it, it would be pretty hard to position a circle perfectly so it touched these two lines and had a radius of 1. So we're going to go to our circle tool here again, and now we're going to do tan radius. So we all remember what our tangent line is. This one is going to be a tangent line, and then we're going to identify our radius. So our first tangent line will be this top line here. Second tangent line down here. And then now it's going to ask for our radius. I'm going to do our radius of 1 again. And we can see here it's placed our circle. If I were to dimension our circle here, we'll see it has a radius of 1. And if we zoom in, we'll see it touches that line and that line perfectly. So again, looks kind of simple. It's a simple shape, but to actually try and calculate this by hand would be almost impossible. All right. Now another one. I'm going to take our line tool again, and this time I'm just going to draw a triangle. So I'll do 2 lines and then hit C for close. So I have just a random triangle here. This time we'll go circle, and we're going to do tan. So what I want to do this time is I don't know my radius, but I know that I want my circle to touch all 3 of these lines. And again, to do this by hand would be almost impossible. But with the tan tool, I click on that. I'm going to click on my first tangent line, second one, and then third one. And it will automatically calculate the radius of my circle, which I'm sure is something quite random. So you can see here the radius of our circle was 0.7767, so the odds of you guessing that are pretty nil. And then it's perfectly positioned, so when we zoom in real close, we'll see that our circle touches every single line perfectly. So those are our 6 types here. We just did our first one, which was a center point and a radius. The second one was a center point with a diameter, so it gives us half the size of our radius. Next one, we did a 2-point circle, so all we had to do was identify 2 points, and it filled it in with a circle. Our third one was a 3-point circle, so it intersected all these 3 points. Our fifth one was tangent radius. So we knew we had a circle with a radius of 1, and we had 2 lines that we went tangent to. And then our last one was we had 3 lines or 3 points, and we had 3 lines, and we went tangent. And again, we can access all of those through the tool, or if you just run your circle command, looking in your command line, we can see most of these options here already.